Thanks again for joining us this morning. We're going to be doing a deep dive into our selections board as well as our newly revamped selections tracker. And we'll be sharing tips and tricks that are perfect for both those who are new to the tool as well as those who have already integrated into their process. My name is Katie. I'm on the product marketing team here at Houzz, and I work closely with our customers to get feedback on Houzz Pro and understand how you're using the platform. And then I also work closely with our product and engineering teams to make sure we're building the right products for our customers. So I'm sure I've worked or spoken with a lot of you before, and thanks again to those who have shared their feedback, because that's really how we build our roadmap and decide which features that we want to focus on. And I'm here with my colleague, Desi, who worked very closely on the development of both our selections board as well as the tracker. So she's going to do a very in-depth demonstration for you. Feel free to add questions as we go through. So you can put questions into that Q&A bar in the right panel. We'll do our best to answer them as we go through. And then again, this reminder will be shared, so you'll get the recording. Don't feel like you need to write things down as we go through. So with that, Desi, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Katie. I'll go ahead and share my screen and you can tell me if you're seeing my screen. Okay, you should see my Houzz Pro now.
Yes, we see it.
All right, perfect. So let's start talking about selections. Before I jump into a detailed demo, I would like to say a few words on why we built the selections features, which features are available at all for selections, and also when is the right time to use those features. You probably all know how it goes throughout the course of a project. There are countless decisions that you're having to make between you and your client and your team. And it's really easy to lose track of some of the information and let some of it fall through the cracks. So that is the reason why we designed the selections features that help you organize and expedite this information. They will help you keep everyone on the same page and help avoid miscommunication. So here I am in my project where I have access to my selections tools. There are two of them, the selection boards and the selections tracker. Now, what I'm really curious to hear from you before we look into each of these in detail, how familiar are you already with these tools? We have prepared a very quick poll for you, and I let Katie jump in here for a moment to launch the poll. Oh, that's the wrong one, I think. Can you change the poll, Katie?
Yeah, sorry, wrong one.
This one is for later.
Yes, we'll come back to that. Okay.
All right, there we are.
Got it. Okay, perfect.
So on a scale of 1 to 5, how would you rate your current level of fluency with selections in Houzz Pro for the boards and for the tracker? Are you seeing any results yet?
It's just taking a few seconds for them to load here.
What about now?
Not yet. You want to keep going and then I can let you know when we have your responses.
Sure, let's do that. Okay, so let's get into it. Very quick introduction for both of the selections tools. The selection boards are basically a workspace for you, your team, and your clients to communicate, to collaborate, and to get decisions about items quickly so you can move the project forward. The selections tracker, as the name already suggests, is an all-encompassing kind of a spreadsheet that hosts all items related to your project, making it easy for you to track procurement and order progress. Now, many of you are probably aware that these two features are just two out of many tools that House Pro offers. As you can see here on the project navigation, there are many features. And a question that we often get is, when is the right time to use the selection boards and the tracker? Of course, there is a workflow that we recommend, and also a specific order in using these features, which will guarantee that you will get the most out of the software. But I will also say that House Pro is super customizable and can adjust to your individual workflows. So the order in which you use the features is really flexible. Nevertheless, what we would usually recommend is to start getting into selection boards once you have created your mood boards. Mood boards usually give your client a general idea of the overall feel or atmosphere of a proposed design, let's say, but mood boards are less about specifics and more about conveying an overall aesthetic or emotional response. And when it comes to specifics, that is where selection boards come into play. So in a selections board, you can share all product options with your client. You can arrange them in a visually appealing and easily digestible format, and you can gather feedback on items from your client, and you can also collect approvals. All right, so let's start creating a new board. There are different ways on starting or creating a new board. The first one you'll see here on your general project overview page under the section selection boards. You will see this big create new tile, and when you hover over it, you will see this pop up, which already suggests you some room names. Selection boards, generally speaking, are arranged by room. Every room in your project will have a separate selection board. So the rooms that you will see here are the ones that are most commonly used. But if the room that you're looking to create is not in this list, you can always create your own one, and it will do that as well. Another entry point is when you click into selection boards, and you will see the exact same tile here as well. You can see I already have a few selection boards created. We will get back to that later. I will first run you through how to create it, how to add items, how to share it with your clients. And then I will share these two boards with you, which are a little bit more fleshed out, so you can get a feeling for how a proper, let's say, selection board can look like. Okay, so let's create a new board. I will create one for a kitchen for this demo. In this pop-up, you can also assign team members to the board, and you can also invite new team members in case they're not on House Pro yet. For now, I will leave it unassigned. So I'll click Create. And this is what you will see when you create a new board. This is the empty state of a selections board. The first thing I will always recommend you when you start with a new board is to enter your budget details. You will see a little budget tracker here on the top. We will see its usefulness a little bit later when we have added a few items. But let's say for this project, room, for the kitchen, we have a budget of, let's say, 25,000, including tax. And that's that. I've entered my budget. Now it's all about adding new items to the board. Here on the right-hand side is your navigation or your area from where you can add in products. Let's start with project items. Project items are all the items that you have clipped or added and assigned to this specific project. In case you have assigned this item to this specific room already, those items will show up here. And if they are only assigned to this project, but not to this room, those items will show up here. So I can just either click on this plus sign, or I can drag and drop the items onto my board. Then we have the library. I guess you're all more or less familiar with the House Pro library. It is accessible under company and then products and services. Your library is your space that hosts all your products and services that you have added at some point to House Pro, to one of your projects, or that you have clipped and added to House Pro. So I can imagine your library will look somewhat similar. There are plenty of items, so it's hard to just scroll through and select the right one. That's why you have all kinds of filters available, and also a search box, which works very well. So for instance, let's say I have this faucet that is a good fit for my project here, for my kitchen board. So I'll just add that one in. Before I move on to the remaining options on how to add more items to your board, I would like to take a minute to speak about the clipper. The House Pro Clipper is probably the most popular tool among all our interior designers. It allows you to save product images and product information from all around the web to your projects in House Pro. The way it works is it's quite simple. It's a Google Chrome extension, which you install, and then it will show up in your extensions bar on the very top here. In case you have not installed it yet, how to install it, you just type it in into your Google search, House Pro Clipper, and then you search for the link to the Chrome Web Store. It's usually the first one that shows up. You click on this link, and then you will see the button here. I believe it says Add to Chrome, something like that. It doesn't show for me because I have already installed it, but you just click this button and then it will show up in your extensions bar. Once you have the Clipper installed, you can go ahead, go to your vendor's website, click on the Clipper extension, and it will open up the Clipper for you. If it's the first time that you're using the Clipper, it will ask you to log in, or if you have been signed out of House Pro, it will also ask you to sign in. You just enter your House Pro credentials, and there you go. This banner will open up for you. And now it's all about adding the product images and information to your Clipper, and then you can save it to House Pro. How it works, it's super easy. You will see as soon as I hover over an image, you can see the little house logo pop up in the top right corner. And that's where you click on, and then you will see the image populates right here in your Clipper. I do want to add that you do not want to clip these little thumbnail images because the quality on those images is usually rather low. So you're saving a low resolution image to your Clipper, to House Pro, and your client will in the end see a low-res image, which does not leave a good impression. So what you should always do is click on the image that you want to clip and click on the biggest image available on the house icon. Next, you would want to clip all information, as much information as possible. You will see later why it's important or why it's recommended to add as much information as possible during the clipping process. Of course, you can edit all information or add missing information afterwards, but I will show you later when we look at the tracker why it is so much better and just a lot more time saving to add all the information right when you're in the clipping process. So how to add the information, you just highlight the area that you want to add, and then this little pop-up will or drop-down will appear, and you can select what this information belongs to. So this one, for instance, is the product title. Then we have the cost. We have the SKU. Here, let's say, is the client description. And then in case you want to add a markup, let's say 15%, you can click on the little calculator icon, and the Clipper will automatically calculate the client price for you and will show your profit also. And then you would also want to add a category. This one could be appliances, for instance. And if it's a new category that does not exist yet in your House Pro library, you can easily just click here and it will create the category for you. You'll select the vendor. This one is Lowe's. And then, super important, don't forget to select the project. So I'm on this one, and then I'll also select the correct room. And then you'll see this little checkbox. It will, if you click this checkbox, this item that you're clipping right now will automatically be added to your selections board. You won't even need to refresh the page. It will be right there. Super convenient. I love this feature. Everything looks fine. I'm ready to save this to House Pro. You'll get this prompt saying saving was completed. And now it's saved on your board and in your library. I'll go ahead and clip one other item on a different vendor website just to show you some more tips and tricks on how to use the clipper. Here again, I click on the clipper icon, the clipper will open. And you'll notice right away that when I hover over this image, this happens a lot on build.com, that the clipper icon does not appear on the image. This is because how the website is built, they have this magnifying glass function, which prevents the clipper icon to show up. But there is a solution to this issue. Just click here on Clip Product Images. And what will happen then is the clipper will automatically scan the whole page for all images that are available. So you'll see here, you can select the ones that you would like to clip. I'll select these 4. You can select up to 5. Just click Clip, and they will automatically populate here. And then, as we did before, just select all the product information that you want to add. There is this little pointing finger tool that helps you with the selections process. So when you activate this finger tool, you can just hover over the information on the page and it will automatically highlight this piece of information for you. You click, the drop-down opens, and you can select the box where it belongs. If you want to turn it off, just click again. And here again, we clip all the information. Make sure to clip as much information as possible. Here we have the dimensions. And then once again, I go over here and check my category. Let's say this one goes to plumbing. I select the vendor, build. And you see, it kept my project and my room that I selected on the last vendor website. It stayed saved. So this is a little time saver for you. Also, this box is still checked. Okay, I'll go ahead and save it to House Pro. And now I will go back to my board. And you will see here is the sink and the appliance that I have just clipped. They appear right on my board. Okay, let's go on and look at the other options on how to add items to your board. We have the 3D floor plans in case you have created a floor plan in House Pro for this project. They will appear here. I have created one, which I will just add here, drag and drop it. Same with mood boards. In case you have created a mood board that you want to add as a design to this board, it will appear here. I don't have one for this project, but it works the same as the floor plans. And then super important, the images and the files. Images could be, for instance, renderings. Many pros add renderings. It works super simple. You click on images, you click on upload image, and then you can select from your file picker and it will show up here. Just takes a moment. There it is, my render image. Same concept for files. What are some examples for files? Many pros add installation manuals or tear sheets. Those are examples for files that can be added. Just select it in your file picker. It takes a moment to load, and then it will appear on your board. Okay, so those are all the available options on how you can add items and products to your board. What I always suggest to do next is to find a way to visually structure and organize this board in a better or in an easier, digestible way for your client. Now, this board is super small. I only have a few items, but imagine you have a huge project with 30, 40, 50 items. It will get messy super quickly. So one option to organize this board is by creating sections. Just hover between the rows, and you will see the prompt, create new section. You click on that, and a new, let's say, box pops up. It's a new section, which you can name. Let's say this one is for appliances. You can add a description, you don't have to. And then you can just drag and drop the items that fit into the section. What you can also do is click the three dots, go to add to section, and then click here. There are different ways to customize these sections. You can change the color by clicking on this dot. You can make it more colorful. And then you have some more options here. You can show or hide the description. You can select all items that are in there and then bulk edit them. Oops. You can approve or decline all of the items that are within your section on behalf of your client. You can hide a section, you can ungroup the section, and you can, of course, delete a section. I'll go ahead and delete this one. Okay, so moving on, let's look at this little eye icon. This is your general board information. Where you can, first of all, set a cover image. A cover image becomes important once you share the board with your client on the client dashboard. I will show you later how that will look like. It makes a neater and more professional impression if there is a nice cover image. And you can, in case there is a 3D floor plan or a mood board added to your board, one of these two will automatically become your cover image, but you can always manually change it by clicking here, change cover image. I prepared one, which I'm uploading. You can also change the name of the board, and you can change the assignees. You can also delete the board here in this section. And then also important to mention, you have an activity stream, which will cover when the board was created, if any changes have been made, when it's been shared with your client, when your client has left a comment, when your client has approved or declined items. These are all activities that will be listed here. And it's your place to go when you want to see at a glance what's going on your board. I'll X this out. Before I move on to the remaining buttons over here, I just wanted to take a quick look on these product tiles themselves. Each product tile has, or each item has a 360, we call it item overview. If you click on this eye icon, you will get all item information, all the information that are attached to this item. And you remember I mentioned add as much information as possible while clipping, because it will save you tons of time here. You can see so much is filled out already. You can, of course, always edit it afterwards or add missing pieces. but it's always beneficial to have this already filled out, and it will become even more important when we look at the tracker later on. So this is the item overview. Then we have the product link, and here we have a comment section. You have a separate comment section for each item where you can chat with your client in one tab and with your team in one tab. Your client will not see what's going on in the team chat, so you can chat with your team members and your client will not know what you're chatting about. And then, of course, you have some customization options. You can change the size of the tile. If you want to highlight one of the items, you can also drag the corners to do that. You can add items to sections. We've already seen that. You can set this image as the cover image of the whole board, and a few more options. Another thing I wanted to mention here is the include in budget option. If you click this, and now I'll ask you to look at the budget bar here. When I click this box, you'll see the budget go up. This is a way for, or it can be a way for you to demonstrate to the client, hey, this one option is what I would recommend to you, and this is how it would affect your overall budget. Now, how are boards usually structured? How do pros usually structure their boards? This is one option. You create a section per category. You can have appliances, plumbing. You can have one section for designs and renders. You can have one section for countertops, for tiles, and so on, depending on your topic, of course. Another way to structure using sections is, I've seen many pros structure by design options. They have one section which covers design option 1 with several items, and then design option 2 with other items. So there are many different individual ways on how to play with the selection boards and how to make it as visually appealing as possible for your client. Of course, everyone has their own way of working with this, so you'll just you'll figure out your own way along the way. Now, how do you share this board with your client? There are different ways. First of all, what you would want to do is click on Preview and Share. Here you will get an overview or a preview, basically, of what your client will see. You can see the sections are also displayed. Super important for you to be aware of is that you can customize what your client can see by clicking this viewing settings drop-down option. There are different information on the board that you can show or hide to your client. For example, let me rearrange this a little bit for you to easier see what's going on. All right. Okay, so for example, the pricing. Right now you can see I'm showing the item pricing. If for some reason you do not want to show the pricing, just uncheck this box and the pricing will disappear. Same with the budget indicator. If you don't want to show the overall budget to your client, how different items affect the budget, just go ahead and hide it. Then you have different settings for your item details. This is an important one, the product links. If you don't want your client to know from which vendor you have sourced this product, just hide the product link and this button will disappear for your client. And last but not least, approvals. This refers to the decline and approve options. You see we have them all available by default on all the items. Sometimes It's not necessary for some type of items, for example, for mood boards. If it has already been approved, then there is no need to show the approve or decline options on mood boards. Similar with floor plans or also with images and files. If there is no need to have the approve decline option, just hide the buttons. It will a little bit declutter the whole experience. Okay, so once you're happy with the settings and what your client will see, you can go ahead and share the whole thing. Just click on share, and this will trigger the emails sent out pop-up. There is a default message, but you can, of course, edit it. You can enter your own copy. You can edit the subject line. You can add more recipients. And once you're done here, click send, and it goes off. Your client will receive an email. Within that email, there will be a link which will take them to the House Pro client dashboard. And on the client dashboard, they will be able to access the selections board. Important to know, once you've hit send for the email, the selection board will automatically publish to the dashboard. So I now hit the button manually, but this is what you will see. In case you want to unpublish the board from the client dashboard because you're making edits or because the board is not relevant anymore, just go here, click the arrow, and unpublish the whole thing from the dashboard. You also have the option to export the selection board as a PDF. Important to mention here is that the PDF export will reflect exactly what you see here. So let's say you're hiding all the pricing information and all the item details. That's exactly how it will show in your PDF export as well. All right, so this is it for sharing selection boards. Katie, let me pause there for a moment. Did we get any questions?
I think you've answered a lot of questions. There is one, though, from Tiffany. Is it possible to copy and paste one item into another room in the same project?
Very good question. For now, it is not possible, but it is in the works. It is on our roadmap, and we are working on it, but for now, unfortunately not.
Okay, great. And then one question, can you just show the commenting feature?
Yes, I was about to do that. Thanks for the question. Okay, so in order to show you that, let me move to another selection board. By the way, you can see you can hop between your selection boards within this project just by clicking on this arrow, and then all the boards that you have created will show here, and you just click into the one that you want to visit. So this is one fully fleshed out selection board, let's say. You can see I have added some renders, and I have quite a few sections with lots of items in there. My client has already gone ahead and approved and declined some items. This is how it will look like on your end once the approval process is rolling. And the commenting feature, this is how it will look for you when the client has commented on an item. You will be notified in your here in your notifications, but also you will see this little red dot pop up. You can click on it and you will see your client has left this one comment. For your client, it's actually the exact same experience. Let me see if I can show you. The client dashboard can be accessed through your project navigation. So this is how it will look like for your client. They can access all the selection boards under selections. They will see, and this is where the cover images come into play. You see, I have added nice cover images for all of my boards. If I hadn't added any image, it will show a boring gray placeholder icon, and that just doesn't leave a super professional impression. So it's always important to have these cover images all set up. Okay, let's see if I can show you how it will look like for the client if they want to comment. Yes, so it works exactly the same. The client clicks on this commenting bubble of the specific item they want to comment on. They go ahead and type something like this lamp, click submit, and the comment will go over. You will be notified. Any more questions?
No, let me see. I did just want to touch on these renderings. For those of you who may not have seen, we recently launched photorealistic images for our 3D floor planner. So you can see it's, looks like a real photo that you were to take. So if you haven't seen it, go play around with it. It's a great feature for a 3D floor planner.
Yeah, super cool feature. Okay.
Okay, we're good to keep going.
Perfect. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover for selection boards. Oh no, actually no, I forgot the convert function. You can convert the selection board items to a proposal or an invoice. When is the right time to do this? Usually we recommend once you have collected all the approvals from your client, everything is set in stone, that's the right time to convert to a proposal or an invoice and start collecting payments so you can go ahead and order the items. How to do that? Just click on convert and this little pop-up will show. You can choose if you want to convert to a proposal or an invoice. And then again, the bigger your board is, the more items you have, the more complicated it will get to scroll through the whole thing. So there are different filters available for you. Let's say I just want to, of course, convert only the approved items. So I click approved in that filter, and here I can select all. I can even click into my other selection boards of this specific project and pick the items that I want to also add to this specific proposal or invoice. Now, in this case, I don't have any approved items in those boards, but if I had, they would show up here. And then I just click on convert, and there you'll go. You'll have your proposal or your invoice. Okay.
There is one more question from Barbara. Can you show again where you got the cover images?
Yes. You click on this eye icon, and this is where you can change your cover image. Where did I get the image? I created it myself. There is no no database from where you can select. This is really something I created on my own, and here is the place where you can change it.
Awesome.
You can create them in a mood board though, and export the mood board as a JPEG and upload it here. That's one option.
Great. There is a question from Sherry. She said she likes to keep her invoicing consistent through QuickBooks. So can you convert those invoices to QuickBooks Online?
Yes, of course. You can sync all your financial documents to QuickBooks. You just have to set up that House Pro QuickBooks sync or an integration, let's say.
Perfect.
Okay, then let's move on to Tracker. I'll go back to my project.
We seem to be having some technical difficulties with the polls, but if you would like to try another one, we can give it a shot and see if it shows up.
Yeah, let's do one in a minute once I've introduced the tracker. So the selections tracker, what is this all about? I mentioned it already. The tracker is your go-to source for all item information. It becomes especially relevant when you are in the procurement stage of your project. Let me just click into it and give you a little sneak peek before I go more in depth. It's basically a massive spreadsheet which houses all your item information. And I'm sure the ones among you that are taking care of ordering and procurement are very familiar with these kind of spreadsheets. So it's not super overwhelming for you guys, but at a first glance, it can be a lot of information. So yeah, let's try another poll. I'd be curious to know, what tools are you currently using to track your orders and to stay on track with all of your orders?
Okay, I just launched it, so
Yes.
hopefully it will show up for all of you.
It's there. I can see
It
it.
is. Perfect. Okay.
In the meantime, did we get any answers on the first poll?
No, just 2 responses. So that's the one that must have some bug.
Okay, let's hope this one works.
Yes. Looks like we're getting a few replies in.
Amazing. So I'll just keep talking in the meantime. Yeah, a quick overview of what you see here and how to navigate the tracker. The tracker, you can see here, every item has its own row, and then you have so many different columns and different fields. There is, by default, you will see all columns show up for you. So when you scroll to the right, you will see there is lots and lots of columns that are on you to fill. Depending on the stage of the project, of the stage that you're currently in, it might make sense for you to use one of these, I call them theme views. So for example, let's say you are in the middle of your procurement process, you're in the middle of ordering, or let's say you're on the phone with your vendor, checking on order statuses, confirming order dates, and so on. It might make sense for you to switch to one of these views. What this will do is it will basically just hide the columns that are not relevant for you to see in this particular stage of your project. So if you click the procurement view, it will only show the columns that are relevant for order tracking. And yeah, all the other columns will be hidden. So you see, I cannot scroll left or right. This is all I see. It's just cleaner. It's just more easily digestible. And the same applies to the financials view and to the planning view. Another way to make it easier for your eye is to change the line height. Currently, I have the line height on flat, which is, I would say, the regular Excel or spreadsheet, a standard spreadsheet view, is where each field has its own column. Now, when I change to stacked view, you will see what happens. 3 columns are merged, or 3 fields, let's say, merged into one column. This will reduce the scrolling efforts for you. It takes a little bit of time to get used to this view, but once you figured it out, this is actually super convenient. And you'll see when you hover over one of the fields, you can see here the specific field will glow up, it will light up, so you will know exactly what you're looking at. And here again, you will see how important it is to fill in all information during the clipping process. You can see here, I didn't fill in the materials, dimensions, colors, manufacturers whatsoever. That's why it looks super empty for me. But these are oftentimes crucial information when you follow up with your vendors or when you place your orders. So whenever you get the chance to add this information throughout the clipping process, do it right away, because afterwards it is a little bit more time consuming and more of an effort for you. Okay, another way to navigate through this tracker spreadsheet is by using these filters. There are plenty of filters and sorting options available for you. You can organize by many things. You can filter by so many options, and you can sort by. So one example, for instance, you only want to see the items that you have ordered from build. So you select build, apply the filter, and you see this one item that we clipped earlier will show up in your list. Another way to customize what you see in your tracker is, not sure you saw it, but I clicked on this little icon, the one next to the export. This is where you customize your columns and your fields. You can toggle on and off what you need to see or don't need to see. Important to mention here is that these settings here will carry over to all your other projects. So in case you want to, I don't know, hide the shipping financials because they are not relevant for you to look at, you can either hide the whole family, let's say, or you can just select some fields to hide. And then you just click save, and you will see those fields will disappear from your view. Another important thing here is you can add your custom fields. Some of the custom fields that we see are being added very often are, for example, the order number or the tracking number. They are currently missing in our order tracking family. I will say that we're adding those fields probably beginning of next week. So many pros will be happy about this. We'll be adding the order number, the tracking number, the carrier, lead time, and ordered by. So 5 super relevant fields, which you will soon find under your order tracking. If there is still a field that is missing that you need to add, you just click here on add new field. And you can just type in whatever you're missing. So I'll just choose the order number. And then you can select the type of this field. For this one, it will be a text field, and then you save it, and it will be added to the very bottom of your tracker. You can rearrange the order of your fields just by clicking and dragging the 6 dots. You can also rearrange the whole family if you want the additional info section to show up more to the left. And one last note about the custom fields. If you want to delete the custom fields or edit the custom fields, you click on this pencil icon. You can edit the name, or here on the bottom left, you can delete the field. Okay, so that's it, I think, for customizations. One last thing I would like to speak about is the export option. You can export the tracker in many different ways. You can export it as an Excel, as an FF&E schedule, and as tear sheets. Important to know is that similar to the boards that you export to a PDF, what you see here on your screen will be what will show in your export. So if you filter down to only this item, and then you decide to export, that's what your export will show. It will show only this one item. And then, of course, you also have the option to add more items onto your tracker in case you missed something or it wasn't included in your selection board. You can always manually add items. Okay, I think I covered everything so far. Did we get any questions?
Awesome. Yes, we do have a few questions. Two questions from Tiffany. Thank you, Tiffany. Is there an option to select all on the tracker?
Very good question. Not yet, but also this one is coming. It's also on our roadmap. You can see we have a lot of things that are in the works, and we are constantly working on improving the tracker and the boards and all other features as well. And yet this is one of the items that we're going to tackle very soon.
Okay, great. Another one, when you export to an FF&E schedule, is there an option to see the website link there?
Let's see. Let's try that actually. What I forgot to mention is when you decide to export, no matter which option, this pop-up will show, and you'll have all the you can check or uncheck all the information that you want to export. So somewhere here should be the website link also, maybe under general details. I don't see it. Maybe it's not there because in a PDF it won't be clickable anyways, but I believe it's there when you export it as an Excel product website. So yeah, you have the product link here, but not for the FF&E.
Okay, great, thank you. And then one question from Trisha, she was asking if you can make the selections carry over from the board to the tracker. So maybe if you can just talk to how those two work together.
Of course. So the tracker will list all items that are attached to this project. So no matter if you work in a selection board, all the items that you add to a board will show here. All the items that you add to a proposal will show here in your tracker. So you don't manually have to carry over all the items individually to the tracker, but they will automatically show in your tracker. As soon as they are added to a board or to a financial document, they will show here right away.
Okay, great. I'm just looking through to see if we have any questions. Julie was just asking if there's a way to avoid creating duplicates. She said sometimes if she clips one item once, it may duplicate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, duplicates, that's a tricky topic, but actually it's not so tricky if you know how it works. Let me go back to a selections board. I'll try to demonstrate you what the logic is behind those duplicates. So whenever you clip a product and assign a project during the clipping process, it will show under the project items of this specific project. So here are all the items that are linked to this project already. If you now clip the same product again and assign it to this same project again, of course, it will show as duplicates. How to avoid it? Yeah, just don't clip the same item twice. Or if you want to change the quantity of an item, you can go to the item overview, go to financials, and change the quantity here. Now, this item is already approved, so I cannot change anything. But usually this is where you would change the quantity. The reason why duplicates appear is usually because people are not aware that you should always go to your project items and add in from here. If you go to your library and start adding from there, it will add this exact item to your project items again. And everything that shows under your project items counts to your tracker. And therefore, that's when it happens, when duplicates will be created. I hope my explanation made sense. It's a little bit a complicated topic, but the only thing you should remember is that, just usually add in from your project items and try to avoid the library to some extent.
Okay, great. A question from Trisha. If you create a section in a selections board, can that carry over to the tracker, that grouping logic?
Another amazing question. Not yet. Also on our roadmap, it will come soon. Okay,
great. I think that covers all of our questions. Thank you, Desi. This is very in-depth. We have a few minutes if there are any other last minute questions, feel free to add them into the chat.
I think we have another poll also.
Yes, we can do our poll. The feature updates poll. Should we do that one?
Yeah.
Okay. The earlier poll seemed to be working as well, so it must have just been some glitch.
Okay, awesome. So if you have any more suggestions on what kind of improvements you would like to see to the selections tools, this is your time. Please feel to drop everything in. We love hearing your feedback.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate all the questions. Just one more. I think this is a good wrap-up question from Gwen. She's saying, so selections are primarily for designers who do procurement for clients. Is that how you see it used, or not necessarily?
Yes, of course, the tracker piece, most definitely. It's your source of truth for all the procurement and tracking information. The selection boards, I would say they're more of a workspace to communicate with your client to see this item works, this one doesn't, collect approvals, collect feedback through the commenting option. Yeah, the boards are not necessarily tied to the procurement aspect, but it definitely plays a part. Yeah, for sure.
So thanks again. Any other questions, feedback, feel free to share it. Thank you.
Thank you.